ever wondered how the ancient Egyptians built their coffins? No? I'm going to tell you anyway. Hi, I'm Rosie, an archaeological scientist, and welcome to my new series, Niche Archaeology News, where I share the latest, super specialised archaeological science research with you. Let me first introduce you to Pakepu. No, he's not a random pharaoh you've never heard of. The ancient Egyptian funerary rites also put non-royals in these bad boys. Pakepu was actually a member of the lower elite in Thebes. On his coffin, right here, it actually outs him as the water pourer on the west of Thebes. Or in other words, he helped to maintain the funerary cult of the dead. Pakepu was laid to rest in what's known as a nested coffin set of at least 2 coffins. And these were crafted from Egyptian sycamore somewhere between 680 and 664 BCE. Both of these coffins exhibit elaborate designs in pigments of copper-based green, Egyptian blue, red ochre, yellow ochre, carbon black and orpiment. But they were not the same in their construction. Pakepu's intermediate coffin, or the outer one of the two, was made with badly fitting pieces of wood and the gaps filled with pink paste. The inner coffin, however, which was closer to Pakepu himself, was of much higher quality carpentry and made up of layers of pink paste, white paste, textile and glue. And it's thought that this was meant to imitate the typical cartonnage mummy masks of the previous centuries, as is in this one. Fake it till you make it in that, I guess. But what are these pink and white pastes made from? I hear you cry with the utmost enthusiasm. I am so glad you asked, because a recent study at the University of Cambridge has looked at this for the very first time. What they found is that the white paste is made almost entirely of calcite with an organic binder. And what is just amazing to me, because we have the chemical composition and the presence of microfossils in some samples, the researchers have actually been able to narrow down the calcite source to 3 specific limestone quarries: Abydos, Sidimusa and Kurna. Pink paste is similarly calcite rich, but it also contains iron oxide, which gives it its colour. Researchers don't believe that this was a manually added pigment, and instead they say it suggests the use of a separate reddish coloured limestone source nearby to Thebes. Interestingly, both the white and the pink pastes of the inner coffin were of a much higher calcite purity than the intermediate coffin, which could tell us that each coffin was made in a different workshop, but then they were brought together for the decoration. It also demonstrates that greater care was taken both in raw material procurement and in production for the coffin closer to the body itself, which likely demonstrates the purpose of the inner coffin as the outermost layer of the mummy itself, and the intermediate coffin as an outer protective layer. And there you have it. Now you can go and submit some other poor individual to your newfound niche archaeological knowledge.